Good morning, everyone.
Okay. Hi, I apologize. I'm on hold on the phone, so I may have to briefly mute myself when I hope I'll be done in like a minute or so.
Oh, that's okay. If everyone can mute themselves, initially that would actually be best. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We'll give it a couple more seconds.
You used to get have a hard time on playing games online.
All right. We'll give it another few seconds here before we get started, but good morning for those of you just joining. All right, I think we can get started now. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that you guys can be here. Welcome to the 2020 Self-Determination Conference. If you were able to catch the keynote speaker, it sure was a great way to start the conference. And I want to welcome you all. This is a new experience for myself and probably some of you as well. Just too bad we can't be with each other in person, but of course we all want to stay healthy and safe. So this is going to be great as well. So the topic of this presentation is, what do I bring with me on my transition path? We're going to be talking today about some tips and tricks on how we can talk about ourselves and how we can share with people the things that are most important to us. The purpose of the presentation is to talk through how we can communicate the things about ourselves, our interests, and the aspects of our own lives that are most important to us, and how we can communicate this to the new people that come into our adult lives during this transition time to help us build these strong relationships that are hopefully long lasting. For example, this could be people you partner with in your school. This could be people that you partner with in the IRIS program or another program. It could be an employer. It could be friends. It could be a support broker, or it could be people in other aspects of your life. For example, it could be direct care workers that you have working for you, or personal care workers. It could be other people that you navigate through your adult life with. That path to adulthood is exciting. It's an exciting time with a lot of possibilities, but there are also a lot of changes too. Becoming an active member of your community through work or volunteering, moving out of your own place and out of your parents' home, or just getting involved socially with new friends can be an exciting time for you. But it also can be a scary time. It can be a confusing time, but it doesn't have to be if you prepare yourself. So I want to share that if you had a chance to download the presentation worksheet prior to our presentation, you can use that worksheet as we go through an exercise later on in the presentation. You can write down information that's going to be helpful for you to build quality relationships. If you were not able to download the worksheet, you can simply just get out a piece of paper and a writing utensil, and that'll work as well. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the things that are most important to you and think about how we can consider our options and take action to prepare our future. So let's get started. I'm really excited to have a wonderful co-presenter with me here today, a wonderful young advocate named Kathryn, who you may already be familiar with. Kathryn is definitely no stranger to the Self-Determination Conference. She's presented for several years, and she is going to be sharing her own experience, what she experienced in that transition period, some tips and tricks that worked for her, how she was able to get connected in her community to build a full inclusive life for herself, and so share some information around how she's been able to find employment and get connected in other aspects of her community. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathryn in just a few minutes, but I wanted to introduce myself as well. My name is Dan Crone, and I am the Manager of Community Partnership for TMG. I've been with TMG since 2017. But for the past 13 years, my work has been focused on helping people build full lives in their communities by using my expertise in community-based supports and person-centered thinking. I live in the Milwaukee area, and I have two young boys, a 5-year-old and an 18-month-old. My 5-year-old is currently in virtual kindergarten, which has been an interesting experience for us. And so what are we going to learn about today? Our learning objectives are going to be tips and tricks to keep your self-directed future vision clear. How to be bold for talking about the things that you need, the things that you want out of your life. Insight into how to use your self-direction to achieve your goals in long-term care. How can we tips and tricks to keep our partners, to find people that'll partner with us, and talk about practical tools to help support clear communication during that transition period from a children's to adult services. So I mentioned a bit earlier that I work for an organization called TMG, which some of you may be familiar with. TMG is one of the leaders in community-based long-term care supports, quality management and service design for over 30 years. Most recently, since 2018, TMG has been an IRIS consulting agency. We were the first IRIS consultant agency in the state. We currently partner with over 16,000 people statewide, and we partner with people in all 72 counties across the state. We have locally based IRIS consultants and other staff that work and live in the same communities as the people we partner with. TMG also is the oversight agency for the self-directed personal care program in the IRIS program, and we work with over 10,000 individuals who have chosen self-directed personal care. And currently, TMG's parent company is Magellan HEALTH. Magellan HEALTH helps millions of Americans live healthy, vibrant lives, and they have two unique platforms, Magellan Healthcare and Magellan RX Management. All right, so at this time, I'm going to hand it over to my co-presenter, Kathryn, to introduce herself and share a bit about her journey. Hi, Kathryn.
Hi, my name is Kathryn Burris. I am very excited to be here and to be able to tell you about my wonderful life. I am 24 and a half years old right now. I am from Brookfield, Wisconsin. I grew up and I attended my neighborhood public schools. Currently, I live independently in my own apartment in Grove, Wisconsin. This is only about 5 minutes away from my parents' house. This is where my parents live, where I grew up. I have a great life that I worked hard to build, that I love, that I really love. When COVID hit, has changed things for quite a while, and I'm looking forward to getting back to where things were before COVID hit. I also graduated in 2017 from my school district's community-based transition program. Afterwards, I attended a great job training program called Project Search. I was located at the Milwaukee County Zoo site. And during the time, I had 2 part-time jobs. So I have been, so for the past 3 years, I have been working for Aurora Healthcare. And I work about 20 hours per week, and I do data entry. And so I enter patients' medical records into the Epic system. I love to hang out and I love to hang out with my friends, work out, volunteer, see the latest movies, go to concerts, like some state fair. And I meet my friends for a drink or a meal or two. Basically, I like to do the same things that most 24-year-old girls like to do. With COVID, I do the same exact things, but they are now virtually now. So I am so happy to be in contact with my friends and to be able to give them company and have fun. I am also really looking forward to seeing my friends in person again once COVID is over. I have other friends that are living in different states that have attended colleges in those states, and I'm eager to meet once they come back and visit their parents. Well, I don't know about you, but I could really use a ladies' night out. I am sure that many of you are like me, and I like to be the one who decides what I do and who I do it with. Actually, this is one of the most important things that I need in my life so far. I always have to keep reminding my mom of this because she talks, and because my mom talks way too much about it. When I was younger, my parents decided that my life should be as my brother Andrew's life as possible. My parents did everything they could so that I could experience the world just like every other child my age. And they also worked hard to make sure that I had the same opportunities to pursue my interests and dreams. I feel that this set me up to be successful and to be independent. It also taught me to be an advocate for myself and to know that I can and should be able to do things that are important to me. Even though I did not attend fully inclusive schools, my mom still made sure that I was in Girl Scouts, and I took classes at the YMCA, and also with the youth rec department here in Brookfield. And that I was able to participate in things that I was interested in. My mom also made sure that I was with kids who did not have disabilities and also did have disabilities. High school was a great time of my life. I got to do and experience many once in a lifetime things that I will always remember, that I still remember in my head. I like being a varsity cheerleader for 4 years on varsity. The picture in the middle is of me being a cheerleader. I was also written up in my local Brookfield Now newspaper for being a cheerleader. That I had a whole article about me on the cover of a newspaper. Taking lots of classes. I was also in 2 musical theater experience plays in my high school. I was mostly in the chorus and background. I was also elected senior ball queen. And all of the other activities that every high school student gets to witness and gets to do. I also wore my cap and gown and went to graduation with my classmates and my friends that I've known since middle on. In high school, my transition program, where there was a strong emphasis on employment and job skills. Altogether, I had about 12 paid and unpaid job experiences within the community. I attended our school district transition program that was called Project Strive, and I loved it there. Project Strive is an appointment in the community where we learn how to be independent adults within our community. We learned the things we needed to be independent, like cooking, cleaning, and budgeting, and shopping and being safe within the apartment building and in our own apartment. That would also be really important to set up goals for the future and to build a plan to achieve them. My first unpaid job experience was at Project Strive. I worked at Noodles and Company. I was in retail. I started out busting and cleaning tables, and by the month of June, they liked me so much that they actually hired me permanently. I have been working at Noodles for the past 3 years. I've worked for Noodles for 3 years during my transition program, and while I attended Project Search at the Moulton County Zoo. I also had a second part-time job during that time. There is something that you may not know about me. Is that I love makeup. I have been watching tons of YouTube makeup videos ever since I was in middle school on. And I do my own makeup. As you see, I did my own makeup this morning. And one of my dreams was to become a makeup artist. After a lot of work for me, my mom, my job developer, and my job coach, I have finally landed my dream job working at Ulta Beauty. I actually cried and sobbed for joy when I got my dream job working for Ulta. My mom thought something was wrong with me. Something was wrong. But I was crying with joy when I found out I had accomplished my first dream. Now I have my adult job working for Aurora Healthcare. And I have been working for Aurora for over 3 years. Right now, I'm in a transition from that place to another Aurora during screening and catching COVID as I speak. I love it, and I still want to pursue other things that I also love. Because one of my dream jobs was makeup and being a makeup artist. That I am currently in now. I want to focus on acting and music. And an important part of working and earning my own money. And I love having my own money and being able to buy and do the things I want doing the things that I want without having to ask money from my mom and dad or my parents. I do my own banking, and the people in my bank know me very well. I also have my own ATM / Visa card. I love using it because people my age and my generation are now using their cards nowadays to buy things. So I don't have to worry of counting change. It has always been my goal to have my own apartment. About 2.5 years ago, this was a dream that finally became a reality. At first, I was a little scared. So I started hanging out there and inviting friends, like to dinner or having a game night. Having drinks with friends. And then I started spending weekends there, like overnight weekends. And that was fun, being on my own. It did not take long before that I knew that this was the way for me. I moved into my first apartment full time before last year's Christmas. I get this. I get support from one of my teacher aides from my Strive family that helps me. I do get support with shopping and cooking and daily life skills with my teacher aide, even though I'm not really a big fan of cooking. I do have supporters that are my peers, like my friends, people that are my age who like to do things that I'm interested in. That also get to help me to access my community, hang out with my friends, and I do things that I want to do. My mom, on the other hand, and I choose people that we like and who I trust and feel safe with and who really like me and enjoy spending time with me. And for many years, we hired my friends from high school that are now living in that are now living in different states where they went to college. They would sometimes hang out with me, do fun things. Most of my friends from high school, they now have full-time jobs, and so they're not available like anymore. But we still do get in contact. I sometimes do contact a friend over WhatsApp. Because of COVID, because like before COVID, we would still do things and fun stuff. I feel that it is important to me to decide what my life looks like. and who helps me to accomplish things that are important to me. The Love Iris program, because it allows me, with the help of parents, to create my life and what I want to be surrounded by, myself and with other people, and with whom I feel safe and who I like and feel comfortable with. The self-direction is the way we have been able to build the life that I have and loved. Because some of the people in my apartment building were coming down with COVID, and because I couldn't go out and have people over, like to have dinner and stuff like that, and having fun, that I have finally moved here and finally moved home with my parents. Even though I'm kind of spoiled with my mom doing my laundry. My mom makes really good meals and healthy meals. I also started spending 1 week. I started spending 1 night a week where we're there, but when there was another outbreak in my building, don't forget, wear your masks. Wear your mask, people, and stay home and vote for Biden. We all want to get back to normal finally. Like most of you, I want a life just like my brother Andrew and my friends without disabilities. I want to decide what my life is, and includes determining what people, what help I need, and choosing the people that help me. I want to be them to be people I trust and who understand me and truly care about me. And I feel that I am the best person to make my decision. I thank you all for coming, and I also I thank all of you to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathryn. That was great. We really appreciate you sharing your story. Kathryn talked a lot about her interests and how she was able to express those interests and the things about herself and the things that she wanted people to know about herself, and turn those interests into valuable roles in her community. Kathryn, you're getting a lot of people chiming in on the chat saying, great job, and they can't believe that you're so involved in your community. But Kathryn, she's been able to express that with people, the people that work with her, the people the people in her schools, the other people that are important in her life. And that's led to her having, getting involved in her community and being involved socially and volunteering and getting involved in different jobs. I think at one point she said she was involved in 12 different jobs, which is pretty remarkable. we're gonna leave a little bit of time at the end if any of you have any questions for Kathryn. But being able to talk about your personal story is an important aspect of transition. Knowing and being able to speak to those things that are important to you, that you want people to know about you, are crucial. So at this point, I want to go into the worksheet. If you were able to download the worksheet, if not, and you're able just to get out a piece of paper and a pencil, we'll go through some questions, and after each question, I will pause and we will unmute everybody and allow anybody to share that wants to share. You can also type it into the chat box if you'd prefer to do that. So to start with, and I'm going to turn this over to Kathryn as well, was to start thinking about, what are those important things that you think you want people to know about you? It could be, people that you spend time with, the things that make you happy, the things that make you smile, or the things that bother you. It could also be some goals that you may have for yourself. It could be a new hobby that you'd like to learn. It could be some of your favorite things, like your favorite color, your favorite TV show, your favorite movie, your favorite song or book or sports. Those will all help people get a better understanding of who you are. So, Kathryn, you talked a lot about the things that are important to you, but if you could say 3 things that you would want people to know about you, what would they be?
My first answer was, I love to sing and I love makeup. My second answer was, I like to make my own decisions. And my third one is that I like living in my own apartment, and I would love to move to California, LA.
Great. And all those things are very important. So she talked about her love of makeup, which led her to having employment at Ulta Beauty. And her goal of wanting to live out on her own, and now she's living in her own apartment. And who knows, maybe someday she'll pick up and she'll move to California and be living in an apartment on her own out there. So at this point, if everyone just wants to take a minute to either think about or write down the 3 things that you would want people to know about you. Some examples may be your family. You have a fun family. Family is important to you, or you love your pets, or I love to go to the movies. Maybe not right now during COVID, but you love going or watching movies. So what are some of those things that are important to you? And we'll take a minute, and then if anybody would like to share, please feel free. Would anyone like to share something that they would want people to know about them?
Hi, Dan. I see Genevieve has her hand up.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm limited in what I can see on my screen, but if somebody has their hand up, and let me see if I can unmute you here. Is that person able to?
Uncle.
Hello, I'm Tim.
You have a bench right here going, heat at me. Some reason it's way up high.
Okay, I went ahead and I muted everybody, but you should be able to unmute yourself if you wanted to if you wanted to say something.
My best part of my life, I always gonna take care of the house myself. So I would like to go to college, and few times I should gonna get married until after my graduate.
Great, thank you for sharing, Genevieve.
So I'm sorry. I think the best part is for Kate, Bateman. She might like to watch Disney movies, and probably she loves to sing a part from her voice solo.
Great. Yeah, something very important that they would want people to know about them. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. I noticed there's quite a few hands going up, and as the presenter, I'm very limited on what I can see. So I'm wondering if everyone would be, if you want to share, instead of maybe sharing it verbally, if you'd be willing to type it into the chat box, that might make things a little bit easier. Judy Wilson said that she has some students with her that would like to speak. If you'd like to unmute yourself and give them an opportunity to share,
Si
Judy.
quieren darse voz, está bien.
Okay, thank you.
Who would like to go first?
Sandra?
I'm up in front so they can see you.
My name is Leander R. My name is Leander R. I love my pet Chance and Ribbon. I love my family and friends. And I love makeup and mermaids.
Good job.
Great, thank you for sharing.
Come up, stand up.
Okay, come on, Julia.
My name is Julia. I like horseback riding. And I love my 3 dogs. And I am a hard worker at Ultra Beauty.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Ultra Beauty worker. All right.
Dustin, take your mask off when you get up here so they can hear you.
My name is Dustin Taylor Conquest. I haven't really.
3 things you love.
3 things I love is my family and friends, and
hard worker.
And I'm a hard worker, and I work at the hometown pharmacy.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Dustin.
Yeah.
Kristen? No. Ethan? Yeah. Come on up and tell me your name. Take your mask off.
Hi, my name is Ethan Frank. Finish it up, then let me guess.
Where do you work?
My Pizza, I think. Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Our students really enjoyed Kathryn. Some of them would like to meet her when COVID's over.
Right, when COVID's over. Yeah, we can all get back to our normal lives for sure.
Yeah, and I'm right here too, so.
All right, and we have an Ultra Beauty worker too, so that'd be nice.
Wow, what a coincidence. What a coincidence. Small world.
All right.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you all for sharing. That was great.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we've had a couple other people share through the text as well. So thank you all for sharing. We're going to move on to the next exercise. So this will be another great question for everyone to think about. So this is going to be important because there will be people that may be providing you support, and they need to know what you expect them to do, right? So you should be regularly talking with the people that work for you so they know what supports you need. So think about those things, ways you'd like to be supported, like to be helped, like to be talked to by people that may work for you or people that may just be in your everyday life. Could be family members, could be people in your community. So some examples of that would be, my worker should be polite, right? My worker should be on time, very important. You want to make sure that you share that, yes, I need to find people that are going to be reliable. And, another example would be, I like it when people write things down for me. I do personally. So knowing that that's important to you and knowing that that's how you like to receive information is to having things written down. That's important for people to know. So instead of having people share, I'm going to actually put out a poll question to everybody. So if you are able to answer the poll question, I'm going to try launching it now. So the question is, what is most important to you when being supported, talked to, or helped by a support worker? Is it my worker should be polite? My worker should be on time? My worker should write things down? My worker should be reliable? Or my worker should be a good communicator? So if you want to take a moment to answer what's most important to you. Looks like we got some answers coming in. All right, we'll give it a few more seconds for anyone that wants to answer. All right, looks like the answers are slowing down. So I'll end the poll in just a second. All right, so let me see if I can share these results. So it looks like the majority of people, 41%, said the most important thing would be that their workers should be reliable. And then the 33%, the second most important was my worker should be a good communicator. And then 15% said my worker should be polite. 8% said the most important thing is my worker should be on time. And 3% said the most important thing is my worker should write things down. Great. Again, all those things are important, but knowing what are those most important things to you are crucial to be able to share with people. And thanks to those of you who also shared in the chat as well. Okay. Okay, so telling you what I need. We all communicate in different ways. Some of us use words. Some of us use a device. Some may have someone that translates for us. Many of us act a certain way and have facial expressions that help others know what we are feeling or thinking. Being able to tell people how you show when you're happy, upset, tired, frustrated are very important in a relationship with your workers or other people in your life. So if you want to take a moment, and we may not have time to go through each one of these and have people share, seeing that we're on limited time. We only have 60 minutes here. But if you want to take a moment to think about, how do I talk to the people that are my support workers? So for example, I prefer text messaging. That's how I like to communicate with people. So being upfront about that with people and letting people know that on the forefront is important. Or another one would be, I use sign language to communicate. So making sure that the people who are working for me understand that and can use sign languages as well. Or another example would be, I use a communication device. So that individual is going to need to be familiar with that device as well. Okay. So what I need each day, you know, we all have different things that we like to do each day. See friends, go places, having meals, and we all have the things we need to do too. The cleaning and the going to appointments and the paying bills and all those things that aren't so much fun, which means that we all have different schedules. It's important to write down and to create a schedule for things that we do and the kind of help that we need. So to think about what we need each day is going to be very important. So for example, I like help with exercising, or I like help with cleaning, or I like help with cooking. Me personally, I need help with cooking, but making sure that we, you know, we have that understanding with the people, and we're writing that down and we're sharing that information with people is going to be crucially important. Now, the next part that I want to talk about is how I pay for my supports. This section focuses on how you pay for the supports you receive. This information is a bit more personal, and you're not required, definitely not required to share this with the group, but it's certainly important for everybody to think about and plan for. This information would be useful for people that help you, so they know the rules that go along with some of the sources of funding. If the way you pay people has specific rules to follow, you do not want the people to have different expectations than what is allowed. Genevieve, it looks like you have your hand raised. I can see you in my screen. I'll unmute you for a moment, if I can. Okay. Did you have a question?
I really learned things when we also like to cook some sweets or lunch and breakfast or suppers. We paid from our money insurance from our account.
Okay. So that's, yes, very important for people to know that, right? And each kind of funding, each have their own set of rules behind them too. So if people you support know a little bit about where your funding is coming from, they will know what rules to follow. So some examples would include my own money. And, you know, for those of us, you know, that have employment and we have our own money, and, you know, we have to make sure that people are aware of that. Another example would be if someone is in the IRIS program, for example, that IRIS funding, it's important to know, for people to know the steps around what it means to receive funding from IRIS. And the same would go with family care. It's important to know those rules. This is money that's budgeted on as part of a federal community support waiver through Medicaid. This IRIS, for example, is flexible funding source, but there are rules about what this money can be used for and what it can't be used for. So helping people understand, you know, what it is about your health that you'd like people to know about is also incredibly important to think about. So again, this can all be very personal information, so nobody needs to be obligated to share this information. But for example, some examples might include, I have food allergies, I take medication, or I use an asthma inhaler. It's okay if you don't want to share all of it with your network of friends or the people that support you. However, you should think about why certain information would be helpful for people to know. For example, if someone was making dinner, it is important to let them know if you have a food allergy for safety reasons. People can support you better if they know a bit about your health and your disability. You should only share with the information that is necessary for them to help you lead a healthy, safe, meaningful life in your community. And it's a good idea to share information about your medications with people who support you, since medications have a direct impact on your health and safety. And last but not least, it's always great to make sure that you're communicating who your emergency contacts are. Have an updated list and notifying your emergency contacts that they are an emergency contact for you as well. So examples would be your family. Crucially important to make sure that people know who in your family you'd want to contact in case of emergency, your friends, or your neighbor. So we all have those people in our lives. We'll want to make sure that we're sharing those out. Okay, well, I know that we had to get through some slides there relatively quickly when we were getting close to our time here, but I want to thank you all for taking part in that exercise. And I want to make sure I leave a little bit of time for anyone that may have questions and want to put them into the chat box for either myself or for Kathryn. And if anyone is more comfortable sharing verbally their question or their thoughts, you should have the ability to unmute yourself now as well.
Hi, Kathryn. My name is Carlene. I'm a social worker from La Crosse County. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I just want to say that I think that you have amazing parents, and I, as a social worker, just want to recognize that. I think that they did a great job parenting because everyone has their own unique abilities, and for them to give you all the opportunities that anyone else could have is simply amazing, and you're thriving as an adult. So I think that you're very motivated and you've set goals for yourself and you're already achieving them. And it's just simply amazing to see that, and just to see your pictures and the smile on your face and how proud you are of yourself. I'm proud of you, and I didn't even know you.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I guess my question is though, so as a social worker, I work with some parents that have not given the kiddos that I work with the opportunities that you were given growing up. And one specific kiddo that I think of right now, and my question relates to, is that their parents have actually done more for them than they should have. And now they're an adult, just turned 18, graduated this year. And now they're kind of coming from the perspective that people should do for them, or that their parents should continue to do for them. And you clearly do not have that mindset. So I'm just wondering if you have any advice for me to help, as the worker, motivate them to be more independent and want more for themselves, rather than having people continue to do for them and them rely on people.
Yeah, I would say one is to ask your parents if you could actually work with your child. And then from there, once they get into when they actually do say yes, or some people might say no. My advice to you is to tell you that is to ask for help within your facility that you are working for, to get in contact with that client's parents, for you to be access to be working with that person, in order to have them be fully inclusive in like virtual classes that you guys are participating on doing, because I am with DSAR and I'm doing the virtual classes. So the best way to get that person to be active in your community is by doing like well, the best advice I could give you right now is to contact their parents and have their parents talk to their to the provider and see if they can be able for you to get in contact with that client.
Hi, I'm Julie Burrish. I'm Kathryn's mom. You know, one of the things I would suggest, especially since you're working with clients that are a little bit older, is to show them how somebody like Kathryn lives, to actually help them form a dream for themselves. Because once someone has a dream for themselves, then it's easy to work toward that dream. You know, so if they see somebody like Kathryn who lives in the community by themselves, you know, it's not easy. Kathryn can tell you it's not easy to live by yourself, because you have to clean your own apartment and you have to cook your own meals and you have to wash your own dishes and you have to, you know, wash your own laundry. But even though Kathryn says she has it made at home, she really is dying to get back to her apartment, because she also likes the freedom to, you know, not have somebody telling her things have to be done. So my suggestion would be is to help your clients build a dream, because once they have a dream, they have a place to go.
Thank you. I think that's great advice. And parents are wanting to push this kiddo forward and make them independent, but there's just so much pushback because of all the years of doing 4, and now at 18, it's just hard to cut that off. So
well,
again, I didn't realize you were on the call, but
yeah,
you know.
Well, but that person is an individual, and I think rather than it being, when you said pushback, that's saying that something's being done to them. Where you have to start is you have to empower them to have a dream and to work toward that dream. You know what I mean? So that's where that whole concept of self-determination comes from. You know, sometimes we get a little too caught up in person-centered planning because there's too many outside people doing the planning for that one person. Right, Kathryn? We have to listen to you. And
Yeah.
don't you get pretty mad at me when I take control of things and it's not really what you had in mind?
Yeah.
That's kind of when we have our big fights, is when I'm not listening to her. So anyway, that's just my suggestion is, you know, once this person decides what they want, then it's going to be a lot easier to focus on, you know, building the skills because they want it. Good luck.
Thank you.
I see we have some other questions coming in for you, Kathryn, around what advice do you have as a self-advocate for those transitioning from school who may not have a strong school program that was like yours? And what first steps would you recommend?
I would say one, to get what was the question again?
It says, you know, what advice would you have for kids that are in high school and transitioning for first steps?
For the first steps for transitioning is to get in contact with your with a case manager, or getting in contact with like a Team G provider or someone like that, that would help your kid to transition to a transition program. And because when I was in high school, I had these meetings called the IEP meetings, where they would catch up on the things where they would catch up on like the updates about me and my education. That's how they got me to. That's how they got me to get to that place of transitioning. So being in high school, I know my school wasn't really fully inclusive, but like overall, like with with schools that are not fully inclusive, I highly recommend just like going to your parents about it, and then having your parents contact whoever is working with them in order for you to like transfer to like a transition program.
Great. And would you also say that part of that is just making sure that you're expressing your interests and the things that you like to do, and things that you want for yourself? I think one of the things about yourself is that you from a very young age were able to share that these are the things that I like to do, that I'm interested in, and you shared that with the people in your school, and you shared them with people in your community, and you got connected in your community based around your interests.
Yeah, so mostly, like mostly getting in contact with people that have the same interests as you, because you may not know if you might have friends, but you may not know if you might have any like contact with friends of friends of friends that are connected with like other people that you don't know, that you might end up making friends on a Zoom call or something, and you end up meeting them in person after COVID is over. So that's how you can get transitions of getting your dreams, even though for example, my dream is to live in California with a great job in the music industry or in acting industry or whatever. And but hopefully I probably might be getting in contact with some friends or friends that might be able to help me transition.
It's great advice. And I know we have some other questions coming in through the chat that we weren't able to get to, but I'm happy to share out my contact information, and anyone that has additional questions can reach out after today. And I'm finally able to see all your faces, so I'm just so great that you all were able to come join us today. We are over time, so I'll let you guys all go on to the next event. But thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. And I want to give a special thanks to Kathryn for being here today to share her story.
Well, thank you. Even though I am glad to be here. If you guys have any questions, you can go to Dan, my mom. But mostly I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys all do to get me on this Zoom call today. Well, I might see your nice faces in my next session tomorrow. If you guys are coming to my next session on Wednesday, I will be there with some other people. So feel free and enjoy my next session.
Yes, Kathryn's going to be in a session tomorrow too. So hope you all have a great rest of the conference. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.